Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. We are today at Sub 70s HQ. We're here to do a fitting, but not me. No, it's birthday boy. He's going to be having a fitting. He's having a full new golf bag. So we thought we'd come up here today, get him fitted out and see what they can do to help his game. Don't forget, if you are new to our channel, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up. But let's go and find out what Bernie's up to.
New glove.
Oh, nice new glove.
When you're
doing a proper fitting, you got to have a nice new glove.
You've made it nice when you use a new glove every time.
Okay.
Get a full bag fitting.
Full bag. So, but in today's video, we're going to be focusing on your irons.
Yeah.
Now, I know you are somebody who doesn't really like to change their irons. Once you've found something you kind of like, you like to stick with what you've got. But these irons that Lester's got are quite old now.
The Callaway X forged irons.
Yeah.
Just got regular R300 shafts. Standard lie. Bought off eBay. I've never been fitted for a set of clubs. I've always just fitted myself. Or
okay. And then you go from pitching wedge right the way up to 4-iron in that set.
I do, yeah.
What do you want to do? Do you want to beat them? What do you want to get from this?
I guess I want clubs that are suited to me. That I know that if I hit a bad shot, it's me. I mean, generally it is me. But it'd be nice to know that they're fitted and that's what I should be using rather than what I want to use. So I'm going to go completely with the fitter.
Yeah.
Whatever he says, I'll go with. I won't disagree. No arguing.
Here we go. Nick, thank you very much for having us.
No problem.
So, just tell us what's going on here today then. You're going to fit, obviously, Lester into his irons. You're doing a bit of a check at the moment to see what he's got. How does this kind of process work with you?
Yeah, so we're just going to look really to see what is a bit off with his current set.
Yeah.
Currently it looks like a little bit of launch. It's just launching a bit too high.
Okay.
So we can just start off a little bit lower and then just work from there. We'll hit a few with his, so we've got some numbers here already.
Right, okay.
So spin's good, launch is a touch high.
Yeah.
Carries at 158.
Yeah.
But we know for 86 mile an hour, we should be around 165. So we're losing
as a carry.
Yeah.
Okay. So
you're
just working with the TrackMan numbers. You're getting an idea of what kind of how they all balance up. Is that right?
Yeah. So we're just losing a bit of carry where we don't really need to be.
So first weapon of choice.
699 Pro.
Okay.
Hollow head. Really forgiving.
Yeah.
So miss hits just go a lot further than they should. Shaft, we're going for KBS tall stiff.
Okay.
Swing speed is definitely in the stiff. He's currently playing regular.
Oh, is he right? Okay.
Yeah, which
not good.
Yeah, which isn't helping the launch.
So, how much are you looking at, like visuals, like him coming from what is a pretty thin top line in that Callaway there? Is that something you're obviously mindful of as a fitter as well?
Yeah, we'll go through all the semis and the blades, but to start off with, we'll just go for the most forgiving.
First impressions, looking at it.
It's different to what I've been ever gamed because I've always been blades or semi blades. I mean, my current set's probably the biggest club head I've actually had in my life, really.
Yeah. I
mean, I've used Hogan blades. I've used, the Cobra ones. I've used small heads, so that's big for me.
Yeah.
Top line's quite large as well, as you said.
Yeah.
And you can see a little bit of the
back on it.
The back on it as you address the ball.
Yeah.
But,
which gives you the confidence to get it in the air.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean,
but might not be the look that ultimately off the get-go what you're looking for.
No, but if I'm told this is the ones that suit me, I'll use them. Surprised?
Very. You found us a good example. You found one shot which is his good example.
Well, first shot, fully optimum, 166 carry, we hit 166.2.
Okay. So he's got what you're trying to just get those numbers into those blue brackets there, aren't you?
Yeah. So because the swing's good.
Yeah.
Can you say that again?
The delivery's good. It's just a few tweaks on launch and ball speed.
Yeah. So you've managed to get his launch down a fraction, which is what your objective was. You've got what's he done with his spin numbers? So spin numbers has dropped a fraction.
Yeah, it's dropped from 6 to 57.70, which
Okay.
Which is manageable, isn't it?
which isn't huge, yeah. But the launch has come down, well, just for that one shot anyway, from 21 down to 17.8.
Yeah. Okay. And his ball speed just popped up a little bit.
Yeah, 118.
Which ultimately is giving him the extra bit of yardage. Is that right?
And then and the carry bang on what it should be for that speed.
So you've kind of found the numbers pretty quickly for him, haven't you?
Yeah.
You've given him what you feel is the right launch, the right spin, the right carry. You've kind of optimized him.
Yeah, we're very close. We're just going to see now if slightly smaller head still gets the same results, and if we don't lose a bit of distance from it.
I was going to say, so what are you going to, by changing into this head, which is now the
639 CB.
Okay, so we've got a CB head, so no hollow construction.
No.
What are you expecting to see from this one in comparison to
We're
the
probably going to
previous
lose a little bit of ball speed from miss hits.
head? Yeah.
Out the middle will be very similar.
Okay.
But it'll just be the miss hits won't be as long.
Yeah.
But we shall
Spin
see.
numbers, launch, everything else
Should be very similar.
So are these similar in lofts?
Yeah, so all the 7 irons around 32.
Yeah.
So they should all launch the same with the same shaft anyway.
Yeah, okay. CB, this is more, if I was going to put you in a club, I mean, this is as close as I would probably get unless you're going into a blade.
Yep.
How does this one look in comparison?
Yeah, I mean it's more of a sort of what I traditionally would use.
Yeah.
That sort of shape. So the top line's thinner.
Yeah.
Can't see much on the back, sort of the sole plate as you look down at it. It's got a little bit of cavity in the back as it is a CB.
Yeah.
It's all nicely cut out. It's a nice looking golf club, isn't it?
And then top line, I think that's quite an important
yeah.
part for certainly good golfers.
It's definitely thinner on the top line. It marries in quite nicely with the club, I think.
That sounded lovely.
So same thing with your irons, launching a bit high,
Yeah.
and we're just losing a little bit of distance.
I guess these would be as close as we could get to what I've got, aren't they? So
Yeah.
you're going to get similar figures, I guess.
Yeah, they're going to be close.
But launch-wise, I suppose if the lofts are pretty much the same,
Yeah.
we should see. I mean, what do you feel is probably causing that to just pop up a fraction more then?
Just the dynamic loft. With this, we are producing more loft at impact.
Okay.
So it's
How the player reacts?
yeah, it has to be. Yeah. So club being the same loft, it will launch the same.
Yeah.
We're just obviously flipping it a tiny bit more with the cavity, with the semi-cavity.
Okay. And do you think that because this is maybe more of a bladey looking club, do you feel like you have to try and help it a little bit more to get you the yardage? Is that anything that could be causing it to go, just because it's you as a player that's popping it in the air almost?
Yeah, I think we've said a few times before that because we played for so long, you can almost make a club fit what you're doing.
Yeah.
So I guess that's what I've probably subconsciously been doing for the years, like trying to flip it, trying to get a little bit more out of it.
Trying to get a bit more out of it?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. And as we get older, I've definitely lost distance.
Yeah.
I saw a little Facebook memory popped up, and my driver, I'd done a couple of posts, and my driver was over 300 yard carry in the studio.
Cool.
But
That would
I'm
have been a few years ago.
yeah, well, it was only 4 years ago, but I'm like nowhere near that now. I'm probably like 260 to 270, so you do lose distance as you get older, so maybe I am trying to hit it a little bit further now. It's time to
Is there much of a difference in feel between those two?
yeah, I mean it's to me it's a bit chalk and cheese.
Really?
Yeah, hitting this feels so much better than hitting the 699.
Yeah, pros.
Yeah.
Should we jump into the blade next? We'll keep this.
Yeah, we
shaft
haven't
going.
actually, we haven't finished yet, have we? Because we've still got to get into the blade and see what that one has to offer you. Do you think, based on what you're seeing though, Nick, from a fitting point of view,
Yeah.
is he a blade player? Or has that come down to the individual?
Yeah, I think it's more. Well, we've kind of hit 6-7 shots now. See what the consistency is like.
Yeah.
But it's not far off the middle, to be honest. So
No.
you shouldn't be too punished.
Now, I'm not sure they want you to be kissing all their clubs, all right?
That is a thing of beauty, isn't it?
Look at that.
Doesn't get any better, does it?
I haven't, yeah,
That is golf
I've
club
not seen
porn.
you,
Golf
I've
club
not
porn.
seen you this excited
No.
over a set of golf clubs.
No, not with my clothes on. So.
That's beautiful, isn't it? Nick, just tell us a little bit more about that, because I mean, I think you've ticked a box with him there.
Yeah, so these are the Tommy Armour irons.
Okay.
They were made for him, he kind of designed it. So there's a little bit more, slightly thicker top line than the Tors.
Okay, so there's 2 blades that you're offering.
Yeah, so that kind of sits in between the blade and then the CB.
Does it? Right, okay. And then, so what have you got in your hand there then?
So this is a 639 MB.
Yeah.
That's the Tommy Armour's kind of a tweaked version of this.
Yeah.
And then we go into the thin one.
Wow. Okay.
So that's what we call the forgiving blade.
But because it's in a black finish, I mean, that almost gives it the feel of it's being slightly smaller as well.
Does. Yeah, all the blackheads look a bit smaller.
Do they? That's just, again, that's in the design?
To be fair, I think all black, that just kind of hides the lines, hides the top line a little bit.
Yeah, just blends in a little bit more.
Beautiful though, isn't it?
Cool. That's excitement, everybody. Is it as buttery as it sounded?
Oh, that's lovely. Doesn't get any better than that. It's just beautiful, beautiful.
Is there a difference now that you've come from the sort of hollow construction?
Yep.
Then you've come into CB, and now you're moving into more of a blade, MB. What is there much of a difference? Are you feeling it?
I mean, yeah. I mean, Nick's obviously is an expert, and quite rightly so. Said that if you mishit it, you can feel it more.
Yeah.
So as I'm moving through the models, obviously the off-centre strikes, you can feel them, but then you can really feel when you do strike it in the middle of the golf club. Whereas the first club he gave me, everything felt the same, whether you hit the middle or.
Which for a lot of people,
which is
ticks a lot of boxes.
Yeah, absolutely. I do like the feedback. I know you've been criticised a little bit in the past when you said, "Oh, I like feeling the off when you hit off centre." You like that because it gives you some feedback. I'm similar to you.
And what I mean by that is that if I mishit a shot, I kind of want the ball to drop short. I don't want to have a club, which Lester's talking about there, that possibly you might get the odd flyer and go over the back. I always think the golf course kind of ends beyond the green, so I want to see it kind of drop short than go forward, which is than go too far, which is why I kind of still use the blades, which for lots of players, that's not a bad thing. For other players, it might not quite sit the same with them.
I'd say it's more of a personal thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, that's, we traditionally have been brought up on sort of this style of club. That's how we learnt to play golf. There wasn't cavity back irons and game improvement clubs as such when we started. Also, we were given a cut down set of blades. I was anyway. So that just looks absolutely perfect.
Nick, what's the verdict then? What are you thinking with this? Because I mean, you can see the love affair has started, haven't you?
Yeah, to be fair, the numbers are good. Just got to get a little bit more spin out of it. So we're just going to change the shaft now.
So he's got some good yardage?
Yep, so we're averaging now 166 carry.
Okay.
So from his original 7 iron, we're at 156.
Yeah.
So we're 20 yards, 10 yards carry more, which is almost a club.
Yeah.
It should probably be around the 165 mark once we get the spin up a little bit.
So his spinning on an average, you've got him down to like 5.5.
Yeah.
And you want to try and just pick that up a fraction.
Yeah. So his current 7 irons at 5.9. So it's only 400 revs.
It's only 400 revs in it.
But the shaft can definitely do it.
So a shift in shaft. So we're coming out of the KBS stiff. And
Still
you're going
going
now
stiff.
to
Dynamic Gold 105.
So what weight was in the KBS?
120.
120, and the Dynamic Gold is now moving to 105. But you've gone slightly softer in the
The
in
105
sort of lower
does
part
play
of the club,
a little bit softer.
or the shaft.
So
Yeah.
it should, in theory, add a bit of spin.
Well, the sound, Bernie. The sound is pretty good.
Yeah.
The feel, I mean, moving from one shaft to another and weight, changing the weight, are you noticing a difference?
Yeah, it feels a fraction lighter. I mean, it's not massive, the difference. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, it does feel a fraction lighter, but not much in it.
Other than that, strike-wise, that all feels the same, not feeling a
Yeah.
difference there?
Nope.
Not feeling like it's any spinnier?
No, not really.
No?
No.
Spin hasn't, well, to be fair, it's gone to 5800. Carry's gone to 164.7.
Yeah.
So it's doing very similar to the last one, to be fair.
But I mean, you've gained 300 revs. We weren't talking about, you were only trying to get him to 5.9. I mean, you've gained him 300 revs there, which, you know, and surely that's all it is, isn't it? It's going to be subtle. You're not going to see massive jumps.
We'll try and jump it up now in a heavier shaft, just for control purposes.
Yeah, because I that's my only slight concern is, I know you're saying it in here, but I do, you know, you're used to having slightly heavier shafts. That's where the management of the control, the club face.
Yeah, I mean, I would say probably the last 5 or 6 shots I've hit have been a bit more, the dispersion's been greater.
You're going to get that.
In comparison to the 120 shaft I was using a minute ago.
I think for someone like you who's got the speed, got the strength, you know, going into something too light, I think is going to affect your. It's going to affect your feel and your dispersion. I think.
With
and
your
club
irons, really, that's what you want, isn't it? You want a
tighter
dispersion.
I mean, yardage is one thing, but control and tightness is another thing.
Yeah.
You know?
So we're going to go now 115, very similar to the first shaft.
Yeah.
Just in X range, because again, being lighter, it is a bit.
Okay, so we've gone lighter.
Yep.
So head back to normal weight in some ways, but slightly stiffer.
Yep.
But it's still a fraction lighter.
Yeah. Spins jumped to 61, 162 carry, but there was a little bit of room on strike to get a little bit more out of it.
Not working with much, is he, Dan? I feel like with the slightly lighter shaft, my dispersion when I'm hitting the shots is actually increasing.
Yeah.
Which is a slight concern if I take it and game it. So I mean, I obviously go with what Nick and yourself think because you're more into it, but I probably think the heavier shaft was giving me a tighter dispersion rate.
And that heavier shaft that we had, which was the original sort of KBS 120 gram shaft, it wasn't far away, was it?
No, to be fair, the launch numbers were good, spin was good.
Yeah.
So we'll jump back in it now and just to double check.
First shot, we've got arrow ball. He's got 6,000 spin, which is good. He's brought the carry up to 166. Your launch angle's at 19. Dynamic loft at 24. Ball speed at 120. I mean, everything we were trying to get out of a club is probably he's just nailed it right there, would you say?
Yeah, and if you look at the optimum screen as well, it's
launching at 19, 6,000. Yeah, it's all in, apart from maybe just a fraction high in the launch, it's all in the blue, isn't it? 1 degree out from getting the perfect numbers.
Yeah.
Like you have just literally completed.
Can't all be perfect, though, can we?
You've completed sub-70s irons. Well done, you.
Thanks.
So I feel like we've found something here, gentlemen.
Yep.
I feel like we've got the kind of we've optimized him.
100%.
He's found something that he really likes the look of. You've got him into the shaft and the head that kind of works for numbers. What about lie angle?
So we're looking at about 64.5 degrees.
Yeah.
Which is 2 up.
Okay.
But we've obviously been playing standard for
a long time.
A long time.
But Bernie, you do deliver a slightly higher handle, don't you? You've always done it. Always done it.
I tend to. So after I hit it, I do lift up, don't I?
So by him going into a slightly more upright club on the golf course, we've seen, Bernie, your shot can be a little bit of a push out to the right, kind of. You know, that bad one where you just get a bit annoyed with yourself that you've just leaked it out to the right hand side. So having something with maybe a little bit more upright should hopefully
should fix it. Yeah,
it should help that, shouldn't it? Does that feel all right to you?
Yeah.
You comfortable with that? I mean, I know it's what you're used to. You're going to be looking down at a club that's just a slightly little bit toe up, but that bother you?
Not if it produces the results that it's going to, you know, that Nick feels it's going to do, and he's the expert fitter, as well as you think that it's a good idea, so I'm happy to go with it. A lot of shots just been played there by Bernie with trying to find the irons, but I think that's quite an important message from that, is that you should work with the way Nick did it. Get the irons that Nick thinks are going to work for him as a worst case scenario, and then see if he can better that as he goes through the range. And moving into those bladed irons, are they 100% what Bernie thought he was going to be getting when he came up here? I don't think that's the case, but I think as soon as he hit them, as soon as he put them down, he just loved them, fell in love with them straight away. And sometimes your heart can rule over your head, but Bernie, I think, should be able to cope with these clubs. But let me know, put your comments down below. What did you think about that as a fitting? What do you think about the
the HQ of Sub 70? I'd like to hear down there in the comments. Don't forget, if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and we'll see you all again very soon.